dragon training. Again there!
This is pretty cool.
I am a Viking! Now who's with me? Go, baby!
Well, in our movie, we made dragons and Vikings enemies so that we had a large conflict to resolve, and we had a great setup for our main character. But he is this kid who just doesn't belong.
300 years, and I'm the first Viking wouldn't kill a dragon.
Great. Nailed it.
I play Hiccup Horrendous, Haddock III.
To be a part of something like this is a huge deal. It's just I haven't completely wrapped my head around it.
I'm blown away. I am so psyched to be here. This is so cool.
I think that Jay just is Hiccup at this point, you know? Jay just took that character and just he just sort of pushed him off to the side and he just took his place, you know?
I know this guy. Handsome devil. Hiccup has the same sort of body that I do, sort of al dente noodles for arms and legs, and he's my alter ego.
Oh, you, sir, are playing a dangerous game, keeping this much raw Vikingness contained. There will be consequences!
I'll take my chances.
That's what we all like about Hiccup, actually, that a lot of what his acting is not only about Jay Baruchel's voice, but it's also about his mannerisms and his style that makes it feel just slightly offbeat, and you care about him, and you also are rooting for him in the movie.
I can't stop myself. I see a dragon, I have to just kill it, you know? It's who I am, Dad.
I was, fortunate enough to visit DreamWorks Animation, and it's impossible not to be moved and not to feel when you go there and you see the absolute army of people working on this movie. He looks so much cooler than I do. Seeing the final finished product of what Hiccup looks like, yeah, it was almost a goosebump moment. It's exactly how I imagined it when I recorded it. It really is. It's really cool. I have a great deal of affinity for him.
Ow!
Yeah, I love that guy.
This isn't a joke, Hiccup! Why can't you follow the simplest orders?
If you actually see the character of Stoic and you look at Hiccup, I think you can see why Hiccup is so intimidated by his father.
I'll take care of this.
I'm very fortunate in that I played a Viking before. I feel like half my career has led me to playing a role like this.
No matter how this ends, it ends today!
Stoic is a really important character in this film. Stoic represents all things Viking. And Gerard didn't want to come off being mean or villainous, and so we really got a chance to talk with him about what is this guy's role in the film and what is his relationship to Hiccup.
Stoic became a character that we could all relate to. He wasn't just big and tough, he was vulnerable. And to see him trying to be a good father and failing a lot of the time, and it just made him so much more approachable. And that's what Chris and Dean brought and helped me bring.
You're many things, Hiccup, but a dragon killer is not one of them.
Gerard has this magical way of just inhabiting the character, and he really works. He tires us out, right? So I came to really look forward to these sessions with Gerard, because so much stuff was just created at the session.
That's my boy!
There's a lot of my characteristics in the way I move and the way I express myself. There's something that he does which is this, which expresses his bigness, and his strength. But that's something that I do as well. So yeah, I see a lot of my characteristics in there.
I take him fishing and he goes off hunting for trolls.
Trolls exist. They steal your socks, but only the left ones. What's with that?
Gobber is played by my fellow Scotsman, Craig Ferguson, who Gobber is very, very funny, very sarcastic.
Hiccup, if you want to get out there and fight a dragon, you need to stop all of this.
But you just pointed to all of me.
Yes, that's it.
So he's the sergeant major, he's the guy who teaches the kids how to fight a dragon. He's not sentimental about teenagers, except for Hiccup. I think he's rather fond of Hiccup.
I believe in learning on the job.
Whoa, wait, aren't you gonna teach us first?
Tough nut, rough nut, you're out.
Craig, can take a very dark situation and phrase it in such a way that that there is a comic punchline to it, always. I mean, he does that in his own comedy, but what he's brought to Gobber is this seasoned character who's seen it all, who's lost limbs, you know, but he doesn't begrudge anyone, and he doesn't dwell on any of it.
Well, the main thing is you lost your first boot. You're on your way.
To see your voice come out of someone, you know, an animated character is a fascinating thing to see.
Does he look more like me than he used to, or do I look more like him than I used to?
We haven't changed it.
Then I'm starting to look like him. That's worrying.
And also, it's alarming to note that, that the drawing that you see behind me is a far better actor than me.
You're thinking about this all wrong. It's not so much what you look like, it's what's inside that he can't stand.
Thank you for summing that up.
Astrid is voiced by America Ferrara. She'll take the lines that we've written and color them in a way that just feels very specific to a real person. That makes all the difference for the character that you see there, up there on screen as animated.
Stay out of my way. I'm winning this thing.
The studio had been interested in having America Ferrara do a role here at DreamWorks for a while, and we were had been looking for the right thing.
When they told me about How to Train Your Dragon, I went out and got the book, and it just seemed like a really fantastic, exciting world to be a part of, and a fun character to get to play.
That's me. That was my voice.
Astrid comes from the frame of mind that she has to be tougher and stronger and smarter and 100% more on her game so that none of the guys mistake that she has any weaknesses.
I hope I get some serious burns.
Yeah, it's only fun if you get a scar out of it.
The nice thing about America, she has a strong voice, but she also has a lot of heart in her voice. So even though she's tough on Hiccup in the beginning, there's a warmth to her that I think makes her sympathetic. And I think America does that so nicely.
That's for kidnapping me. That's for everything else.
Can I transfer to the class with the cool Vikings? My character is named Snotlout, and it was really cool to get to hear my voice come out of this animated Viking dragon slayer kind of guy. Watch out, babe. I'll take care of this. The sun was in my eyes, Astrid.
Jonah Hill's voice has such a specific quality and tone and cadence, and yet when they animate it to this character, it so belongs in that character.
I'll avenge your beautiful hand and your beautiful foot. I will chop off the legs of every dragon I see with my face.
And Snotlout's super funny. I don't think he's gonna get very far with his passes, but he sure tries.
You should come by sometime to work out. You look like you work out.
Chances of survival are dwindling.
Dwindling, I tell you!
First time we heard Christopher Mintz-Plasse' voice, we immediately thought of Fish Legs.
I'm okay! That's okay!
Fish Legs is this giant character, but absolutely needed something to contrast with that. Christopher has this terrific, very squeaky, small voice. He's sort of a dragon geek.
Oh, look, it's making the lava in its belly. Now it's, oh! Yeah, he's large, he's very tall, probably weighs around 250 pounds. He's got blonde hair. He wears a fur Viking vest all the way down and a Viking hat. So I guess he's 100% exactly like me.
No attacks tonight. Study up.
Wait, you mean read?
While we're still alive?
Roughnet and Toughnet are played by T.J. Miller and Kristen Wiig. And from the outset, we knew that these two should be feuding brother and sisters. So I think that that Kristen and TJ took that on very well.
Get your own blind spot.
How about I give you one?
They don't really get along very well. But I mean, you can see that they love each other and they're best friends, but they just constantly give each other a hard time and push each other, punch each other. I guess typical brother-sister stuff.
You know, we're all friends, we're all coming of age. We're just young Viking teens trying to make our way. But somebody told me yesterday that dragons don't even exist. Have you heard about this?
You're crazy. I like that.
All the animation is done after we've recorded, so we can kind of play with the lines, and they were very open to us improvising and TJ is an amazing improviser, and we just played off of each other, which is so much fun for me.
Do you ever bathe?
Marinate in it, baby.
Kristen Wiig, Jonah Hill, TJ Miller, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse are terrific improv actors. And they're also extremely funny. And so we would bring them into the recording booth together, and they would just riff on each other. And I think a lot of the success of that is due to the fact that they had worked together before and knew each other.
And it's just such a, like, scraggly gang.
Look at us! We're on a dragon! We're on dragons! All of us!
I was so happy to be a part of this.
Yeah, we rule!
I started this project, wow, 2.5 years ago, I think. And that's how long it takes to make these movies. But in a way, it means you appreciate it all the more, because you waited for it and you see it and you start to appreciate how much work goes in to create just one frame and to create a character and how the character is built up. It's been a crazy roller coaster ride.
Go, baby!
I'm a fan and I care about everything I work on, but sometimes it becomes glaringly obvious that I'm a part of something great, something that kids will watch and reference for a long, long, long time. After watching this movie, I felt like I could retire tomorrow because I've now been in something that'll be in the annals of history. It's a surreal experience. I'll never get used to it, I don't think.